G'day there, ladies and ladies. Welcome back to more Whole Night Silksong, which should be the final time I'm saying this because we've basically beaten the game like 3 times now. So we're kind of just going around doing a few little bonus things, you know? I'm also thinking, while we're here, right? Since we were able to evolve our Hunter crest, right? So we get like a new little passive with it. I wonder if we can evolve the other crest as well. So if we go to say Reaper, and then check out if it has something to say, maybe that'll be useful, you know? Hey Melody, how's it going? Finale already? Yeah. I mean, it's like what, part 23 or something? You know, and not to mention like over 60 hours. So what is that hunter passive thing just for all my crests, you know? Oh, that's a dash attack? Interesting. You know, maybe I could do another playthrough where I, you know, use a different crest and different tools and stuff. You know? See how far I get in Steel Soul. Which sounds painful. That could be like a bonus stream maybe. But for now, at least until the DLC comes out, that'll be it, you know? Nah, I mean if you're up for it, yeah. That sounds painful, you know. But, you know, when the DLC comes out, I'll definitely be checking this game out again, you know? My first Steel Soul, I died a little bit after Trovio. Right. So, Trovio, so like, in the cauldron, huh? Yeah. Well, in that little section of the cauldron. Alright. So, where do I want to go? I want to go... Well, I think I wanted to go to the wormways, right? There was a boss there. And then... Sands of Karak or something. And then I think that's all the bosses, right? Anything else I should be doing before that? Like... Should I try and hunt down, like, the last... spool fragments or mask shards or anything? I don't even know where that'll be. I don't know for a fact where one of your missing spool fragments is. Got it. It's not really worth it just to go for one. We should be fine. And you're not gonna believe me when I tell you where it is. Great. It's probably like in the abyss somewhere, isn't it? That sounds annoying. I'm not that worried about extra spool fragments and mask shards at this point. I'm gonna say you're extremely close to it at the moment. Anyway, I'm not too worried about it, you know? I get the feeling that if I know about it now, I'm gonna get angry about myself of not finding it earlier. So, ignorance is bliss, you know? So, you were also saying that I can get a crest here, right? Ah! Of course. It wouldn't be a part of the map if you couldn't explore like that, you know? No, that's so fair though. I was angry at myself too for missing it. It's extremely easy to miss. It was like 99th percent, if I recall correctly. Oof. Yeah, it's probably better if I don't know about it then. Well, the 8 and 12 was kind of mentioned in the cradle, right? With the, like, envoys and stuff. So that's probably connected. But there are so many, like, little hidden areas in the game, you know? The Crest of Shaman. Cast blade forward and strengthen certain skills with powerful runes. Okay. Oh yeah, there's so many hidden little details, I love it. It is pretty interesting, isn't it? So... how does this work? Oh, you get little projectiles! Does that count as a pogo or not? Like, do I jump off that? Yippee, last crest gotten. I like this crest, minus the heal. Okay. Oh, let's check out. Oh, okay. But can I pogo off that? I guess I'll find out in a moment, but... he has all the attacks, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, and then fine. That was interesting. I mean, does that count for things like parry and pogo? Also, what exactly does the bind do? Like, is it just that ground pound attack, or is it something else I'm missing? I'm probably not going to use it. Also, if we take a look at it, what kind of... oh, you can get different Silk skills on it. Which I'm still missing one. I don't know where that is. But you could take like the counter, you could take the Thread Storm, and you could take like something like that. So instead of the Architect where it's like 3 different tools, this one is 3 different Silk skills. So I guess they would be like maybe a red, maybe a yellow and a blue or something. It slams you down to the ground no matter where you are in midair. It's literally impossible to heal when fighting Narlith with this crest. Damn! I'm a chronic Silk skill user, so I love this crest. I see. I'm not, like, because I like to preserve my Silk for healing, I don't really use Silk skills unless I'm surrounded by enemies and the Thread Storm would be useful, you know? But I imagine, like, against, Lace, for example, using her using Phantom's cross stitch could be a pretty fun duel, you know. Maybe. So we're going back to what I'm used to, and we're heading out. The biggest downside of this crest is A, the heal, and B, how late you get the crest. Yeah, I getcha. Because you wouldn't be able to get it until at least maybe the start of Act 3. Like, after you get the Ascend ability. Which is pretty rough. Actually, we want to go... I think we wanted to go to the Wormways, right? Yeah, one of the boss. I'll try and figure it out because I feel like that's a good enough hint, and I still like a little bit of exploration. There we go. Because I was kind of thinking that there would be something in the runways, especially in Act 3 now with the ascendability. So trying to find that would be interesting. So it's either above there in that vertical section, and then over to the left, or it's over down in the bottom left, and then it continues out, you know? My advice for you, do not use the Reaper Crest. Well, don't worry about that, I'm not going to do that. I made that mistake once, never again. I know you won't do it, but damn. So I guess like you need... Oh, these are new enemies. I guess the little babies of the thing that was up there, huh? Anyway, yeah, so I guess like you need like multiple quick attacks or something rather than large and slow attacks. So we'll just check around. Fully expect to seek it. They could be anyway, you know. So I want to check all the way up here. Yeah, that's pretty satisfying. Oh, okay. Neat. So, if it's not up from there, then I'm gonna go down here, and then to the bottom left, you know? Really? That's what I missed? Whatever. We're here now. Alright. Oh, could we like not do this until we complete his like, little quest line or something? Oh, that's why you're worried about the Reaper, because you have to hit him quick enough because he regenerates. Okay. Found it pretty well though. Now we need to get back there. So I guess I can rest at the bench by that guy, his lab. But I can see why you would have trouble with the Reaper Crest, because you gotta hit him fast enough because he regenerates. But it does mean that my cogfires and stuff should be able to keep up the damage, you know? That's cool. And it's a good thing we've upgraded our ferocity with our... So, I guess if we want the bench here, we need to go up here. It's a good thing that we increase our ferocity with our crest, you know? That way we can just keep hitting him and, hit him pretty hard. Being able to silk soar through different rooms was added in a later patch. You didn't used to be able to do that. Oh damn, that is interesting though, you know. That would have sucked without it. Oh, so you're not the same person, you're like something else. Interesting. I'm also wondering, right, would the tool that this guy gives you to extract the plasma have been like a one-shot against that guy down there? Like if I got that tool and then use it against the guy down here, would it have been a one-shot? That'd be a cool little Easter egg. Now I want to go left. I don't remember, but I think it might be. I do remember hearing something about that. That's a cool little Easter egg then. Oh, they regenerate! Is it gonna regenerate? That's gonna be annoying. Okay, just double checked. It takes 4 hits from the needle file to kill him, but each hit from the needle file permanently reduces his health. That's pretty cool. He's gonna be very annoying with that, isn't he? I don't know how much I'm doing to him compared to how much he's healing, but... the run back isn't exactly the greatest here. I'm gonna go left. Whatever. Honey, I'm gonna die before I get to him. Well, at least I can get infinite silk from him. So I can just kind of take it at my own pace. I'm hoping between my needle strength and our ferocity that I can damage him faster than he heals. There we go. So, I mean, it didn't really feel like a boss, but I guess he was kind of like a boss, wasn't he? That was a... Was that actually my target, or did I... Or am I supposed to go elsewhere? It's kind of a boss. Most boss Tigers I see have him as marked as a boss. Huh. Alright. Well, we did it. I'm glad we increased our needle strength and our, like, ferocity, you know? Because I can imagine that would be very annoying to deal with like, an unupgraded needle and no ferocity, you know? Even if you're sure Wiki has marked him as boss? I guess so. But I feel like part of a boss is that it's supposed to kind of lock you in the room, right? So, we want Sins of Karak now. Not to mention, we can just like get infinite silk from him, so... I don't know how I feel about him as a boss. I can help you find this one, it's difficult to find. Well, first I'll try... like, all the way left of the cold tower, then I'll poke my head around, you know? I just wish that this area was a bit more linear. Whatever. A bit more linear rather than twist and turn like this, you know? That way you can ascend easily. Alright. So if we try by the cold tower... Like over here. There you go above. It's not like... Oh! Is... It's something to note, but... Okay, so it's not in this area, so... I guess I could use some help to find it, if it is easy to miss, you know? Difficult to find, easy to miss, same thing. Like, I'm wondering if it's something I could have battled earlier on, you know? Probably. Because you were saying that apparently I can get to the Vault Nest. I can ascend that little section a lot easier, you know? So I guess I could have gone to the vault nest and done stuff there, you know, early on. But it is what it is. It's in that first room, the one right below the title Sands of Korak. Ah, okay. All the way down there, huh? In that case, I'm wondering if it's better to just station back and then go from there. Yeah, so it's probably better to go this way. But yeah, they couldn't have made it a bit easier to ascend the building, huh? So somewhere in this big old room, huh? I probably should have done another cool line. Okay, that's close. Ugh. This is not a fun place to explore, is it? Okay. Well, it should be like up here or something, no? Okay, so still in this room somewhere. If it wasn't such a pain to explore, it would be a lot easier. This is the boss I was talking about that has a sucky walk back. Yeah, I can imagine why. This is gonna be annoying. Not to mention these worms are so annoying with it. What we might do. There we go. Now we don't need to worry about the worms. Isn't that like much more peaceful? So, where could it be? The music is so peaceful here, hardly fits. I guess it's the same with bar water, right? Like, they wanted peaceful music in a stressful environment. So... I actually don't know where this could be, like... Because I'm guessing it's like somewhere up, right? So, yeah, I don't even blame myself for missing this. Like, this seems like really obscure. Like, it's not up there, I don't think. So... whereabouts could it be? Well, hell, yeah, at this point, I don't really care about this mechanic. Like, this is a terrible area, you know? I don't... And I feel like I'm not gonna hate myself if I have missed it, you know? Like, I feel like this is a pretty obscure place to have a boss battle. That spot at the top is where it is the spot to do a Silksong. So, like, on the platform, you reckon? So, if I make the platform... That's not it. Maybe here? Or are you talking about like a different spot? Further to the left until you can't go left anymore. Okay. Right. We need the one up here to go left. Look around here. You were on the right track with what you're trying to do with the Silksong. Just keep going left. Got it. Oh, like here? Great. Well, at least I don't feel bad about that one because it is like something you couldn't do until you get the Silksong. You know, like it's not as I could have done that in Act 2, you know. But I don't know, yeah, I don't know why people would want to come back to that little section. Like, that is such an obscure thing to remember for later on, you know? Like, someone really had to sit down and try everything. Is this... okay, this is safe. I am not healthy enough for this. Like I said, I have no idea how people found it. Yeah, I guess, like, someone was trying, like, ascend on, like, literally every spot just to see what could happen. Maybe. Or they really noticed it and then wrote it down and they're like, huh, I've now got the ascend ability, let's go back to that spot. But, like, it feels very obscure. So I don't feel bad about missing that one. Is there a bench nearby? Probably not, right? Hey! Okay. Watch at the edge. Why do you want to battle me though? Okay. that run back's gonna be crazy. So, ugh. I wonder if it's better to go right then down in the round. That works. Told you to walk back, sucks. Yeah, like, I feel like when it comes to my ranking of the bosses, I'll be taking the run back into the situation, you know? And I don't care that much about it. And this is like a bench here. Should be right. Okay, that works. So that's not too bad then. Just a bit of platforming, you know? I guess that works. So that run back isn't as terrible. It's still not great. Oh wait, it's... Wait, was it? It was like... over here. Trying to find it again is the hard part. I guess we gotta go up. Then we're gonna go left. Yeah, doing that every time is gonna get annoying. Real quick. Alright. It's something. So, it looks like this guy's gonna be... Come on, that's not fair, I was... Alright. I was explaining my battle strategy. Okay. I was trying to explain my battle strategy. I thought I'd have to like wake you up the needle and or hit you again, you know? That was not fair at all. God, the people in this game. They don't really play fair, do they? Then we're gonna go up here, then we're gonna go across. They couldn't have made it like a shortcut here, you know? Really? I want to get to this guy with full health, god damn it. Alright, let me explain. So, he has a bunch of like swing up, swing down, similar to Ike from Smash Bros, right, with the ether. So, that shouldn't be that bad. It's just like his angle for the descent is going to be crazy because it looks like he's going to... He can go up and down, or he can go up and then forwards down, right? The dash attack, not too bad, but I feel like I can continue baiting the up aerial, and then hit him when he lands, after he lands, rather. So he is open. Okay. Oh, you can turn around mid-air, huh? If I keep running away from him, he'll keep respawning. Like that. Okay! No! I don't want to be there! I thought you couldn't be there. Okay, I did that a bit too quickly. Okay! So, it looks like I can bait him, and I just gotta get used to his attacks now. I also didn't think he would be in that little that little section. I thought I'd be safe. That works. Also, if I can get this guy with full health, I should be a bit happier. That was funny. You were, in fact, not safe. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I would be able to, like, rest for a moment. But he's like, you know what? She can play that game. Why do we need that? you. Dude, this guy knows trigonometry or something, like, god damn. Why do the contrivers know trigonometry? I don't understand, man. Okay. Up and down. 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 Okay. And down. Up and down. Down. Up and down. There we go. Round two, huh? Good. There we go. Hey, we got a memento from that. Excellent. Hey, there you go, beat him. Yeah, like, it was just the first few times where I was getting used to his moves and also when he, like, randomly comboed me when I was not expecting it. That was rough. So that should be all the bosses, right? Guess we can put that in the home. Also, was there any benefit to having an extra heart? Or is it like you can just choose 3 out of the 4 to complete? Yeah, that should be all the bosses. Excellent. But yeah, like, was there any benefit to getting a 4th heart? You can choose any 3 out of the 4. I tend to skip Nightlift because it's risky in Steel Soul, and the 4th is a memento. Oh, okay. So you get to choose which one you put into your home. I dig it. First up, we'll talk to you because we have, I think, a relic. We are missing a fair amount, aren't we? But it's whatever. There's probably an achievement for like delivering all of them and stuff. Take. Oh! We're just getting money now? That's so good. Neat. So I guess you get to choose which one you want in there, huh? But you need to do 3 of them, then deliver, then get the 4th one. Otherwise it's gonna be like that, because I got all 4 of them, you know? But yeah, we can now just get money from our home. That's so good. Yeah, exactly. Got it. Are we? Huh, no memory rocket. What do you know? The Guardians and Hunters Mementos are the hardest ones to get. Really? Like, wouldn't it be the same kind of thing? Like, you just, you know, defeat 3 of them, deliver, then go get the 4th one, kind of thing? Or are you just talking about, like, the actual battle, you know? Well, we now have money that we can spend. So, we may as well increase our completion rate a little bit. Hunter's Memento is filling out the full Hunter's Journal. Oh, like the bestiary, huh? How are we going with that? We got 229 out of 236, so we aren't missing that many actually. Completed, and that's another story. I don't really care about that, but it does mean that we're missing a few enemies. There's probably like you know, an abyss variant of like a lot of these enemies, you know. So I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, definitely missing something there. At least it'll kind of tell you the area it is based on the enemies. So we're missing. This is either Vidania or is it the Abyss? Then we're probably missing like 1 or 2 down here. Okay, this is Vidania. This is the Abyss. Yeah, so we are missing a few. You have to encounter and complete every enemy in the game. Yeah, and that sounds annoying, because then you have to like beat a few of them up and all that. I'm not that worried about it, you know. So what I can do. Sorry, I was trying to mute myself before I sneeze. I didn't really get around to doing that. So we can hand off this cylinder for new music. Let's see, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, we'll go to the keeper to hand off the cylinder, listen to the music. Probably find the best music that he has to listen to while we talk about the bosses. I guess, is there anything we can buy from you? Yeah, we can buy a few things. Anyway, just to help increase my ego with the completionist score, you know. If we can get to like 90%, I'm happy. Alright. So there's probably like a memento thing for completing all the shopkeepers, like completing this, completing, you know, the bestiary, completing, you know, other little things like that, you know?
Yanara.
Alright. It's very nice and beautiful and not creepy at all. Yeah. Alright. So what's the best one that we have here? That's not bad. That's kind of creepy or sweet depending on how it goes. You don't want to listen to a radio broadcast, you know? Alright, we will get rid of the sound so we don't get any scratches midway through talking. And we shall look at the best area bit, shall we? The best one in my opinion is the one you don't have. Ah, damn. Alright. Well, yeah, I'm not that worried about all that, you know, and in terms of completion, 84%. Ooh, do I want to get up to 90%? Ugh. Good. Alright, let's start talking about the bosses, eh? So, I guess I'll just go down the list, and we'll find one. So, what's the first one down here? I guess Savage Beastfly, right? Yeah, I guess that's the first one. Alright, yeah, so the Beastfly, we battled it twice. One in the Shrine, one in the Deep Docks. The Deep Docks one was more annoying because of the enemies it summons out, conjuring up fireballs that deal 2 damage. You've already skipped 2 bosses, Moss Mother and Skull Tyrant. Oh yeah, and Skull Tyrant. Forgot all about them. Hey, Bulbasaurus, how's it going? Alright, yeah, Moss Mother, I guess, like, the idea is to battle it early on, and then there's, like, a duo battle with them later on. Either way, I don't think they're particularly hard, right? They're definitely, like, the baby's first boss kind of thing. And so, I guess my understanding of the bosses may be different to yours, depending on, like, what crests you use, what tools you use, and, you know, what upgrades you have. Like, if you have, like, upgraded needle or upgraded health kind of thing, you know. Maybe even what abilities you have, like the double jump or the claw line. So, my opinions on these bosses may be different to yours. I don't really remember Moss Mother that much, but I don't think it was particularly bad. So, I think we're gonna rate it out of 10, maybe. Ladies man, might I ask you for something? I saw something in Farfields. May you check it out? I don't have the required ability to get to it. I guess we can do that. Kind of interrupts our flow a bit, but whatever. 5 years, huh? So, whereabouts do you need me to go? This is the only thing I'm going to be doing for you, because I want to get into my boss tier list, alright? So, let's make this quick. I don't have the required ability yet to it, so where do you want me to go? And I keep the fire. If I'm deciding, please ignore me. Alright. Alright, so yeah, Moss Mother. I'm gonna be ranking them out of 10, I think. 10 being, like, absolute perfection. 1 being, what? Do I go down to 0? No, I go down to 1. 1 being, like, absolute worst kind of thing. If it's, like, a 5, then I guess that means it's okay. Maybe I remember it, maybe I don't. But I remember not feeling too strongly either way. So, I feel like Moss Mother is one of those bosses. Like, you battle it early on, you battle it again as a double fight. I don't think I died that many times to it. It would be great if we had that statistic, like how many times this boss has killed you, for example, or this enemy has killed you. That'd be great. Yeah, I don't feel too strongly about it, so I'm just gonna go 5, maybe a 6, because like early on it's a pretty decent boss battle, I think. Then next we're saying Skull Tyrant. Surely we get like, do we get a double jump or no? We wouldn't get double jump. Do we get the dash to be able to joust into him, or do we just have to jump over him? Either way, I feel like he wasn't that bad, but maybe I could have chased him. It's been a while since I battled him, but I don't know, a 4 out of 10. He was alright, I guess, but I don't really remember him that much. Savage Beast fight. So yeah, we do battle him twice. One in the chapel, and then one in the deep docks. The chapel one is intended to be battled much earlier than when I battled him, I guess. So collective, well, either way, his attacks are interesting because like you can bait out his hammer attack, and then you can also like, dodging his ram is actually kind of hard, I imagine. You do need to be kind of careful with it, so I'm gonna give him. He wasn't that bad, but the minions that he summons up can be kind of annoying. So maybe like a 6 out of 10. It's okay. What's the next one? You're like a regular one. The Bell Beast. God, it's been a while since about a year. I don't remember your attacks, but it was pretty fun, I guess, battling you and then using you as a training station, basically. Not to mention, apparently we get a silk heart from you, so very worthwhile doing, you know. I don't remember the fight that much, but I do imagine that he would be kind of digging a fair bit, maybe throwing bills around. Since I can't really remember that battle too well, I'm gonna have to like go with like a 5 or 6 out of 10. Maybe we'll go 6 because it's the Bell Beast, you know. Then we got those guys. God, they were annoying. The second guy that, you know, does like the vertical downward attacks, he wasn't that bad. So I don't know which one he is. Maybe Grun? I don't know. He wasn't that bad. But the first guy with the, I want to say like the boomerang attack. It's been a while. That one was more annoying. And it was a bit of a gauntlet before that battle, right? I think. Maybe not, no. I don't think it was, actually. Look, collectively they're not that bad, but I did find them kind of annoying, so I'm gonna put them down to like a 3. A 3 out of 10. Fourth chorus. So we get this we get the float ability just before this battle, and I think that's pretty useful because like whenever he does like a, especially with the lava platforms, I feel like it's not that bad. I just barely remember this guy. Even though he's like big, you kind of see him beforehand, and you have to battle him, kind of thing. I barely remember him. But I will say that he was pretty enjoyable. Not particularly hard, but not particularly easy either. So 6? 6 out of 10? Yeah. With your traps, you were actually very annoying. Like, trying to figure out how the traps worked, like how they were either proximity based, react to an attack, or just expire over time. That was kind of annoying. And your arena was like very tight. I did not particularly like you. I didn't really feel fun to battle you. It didn't really feel fun to battle him, you know? So, I'm gonna put him, like, down to either a 2 or 3 out of 10. He was not particularly fun. I do not look forward to ever battling him again, you know? So, let's go him down to 2. Oh, I would like to give Skyguard an honorable mention because he's like, you can't really progress into the Hunter's March before battling him. So he's kind of like a boss battle for me. And he really felt like it. Without the dash ability, this guy's really tough. With the dash ability, he is fine. So, honorable mention, I will give him maybe a 4 out of 10, you know? Carmelita. I didn't like the gauntlet before the battle, but the battle itself was actually pretty good, you know? I don't think she gets any new tricks, right? Like, she just, like, when she's in the air throwing the blades, instead of, like, doing it once, maybe she'll do it twice, kind of thing. So it's a bit of a fake out. But I don't think she gets any new attacks except for running across the map and then filling it up with spikes, kind of thing. So, all things considered, I really like this boss battle. The only downsides for this boss battle, specifically, is it can be a bit hard to tell when she's about to jump up, because, like, I feel like that has, like, very little tell about it, and so you're likely to get hit by that. And then, also, given how slim she is, right? You try to, like, go for a needle in, or you, like, dash up to her kind of thing, and you just miss. Like, at least in my experience, I was just missing. So, it's probably just a me thing. But other than that, I feel like this boss is pretty good. So, I don't know if it's my favourite, but I feel like a 9 out of 10 is pretty good. Also, side note, Smash. Anyway, next up, Moorwing. Oh, great. So Moorwing. I battled him, I guess, later than I should have. I agree. I mean, huh? Yeah, he said that. Okay. I don't know. Moorwing. Anyway, Moorwing. So, your kind of boomerang aerial attacks are kind of hard to get used to. But I feel like that's all that he really has to be annoying. I feel like the rest of it is kind of fine. It's just getting used to the curvature of the wind boomerang kind of thing. The sickles. That's the hard part. So for me, do I look forward to battling him again? Not really, so maybe like a 4 out of 10. He's alright. Father of the Flame. This was an interesting one. Because it's basically more of a platforming battle than it is a boss battle, you know? Like, we can't really heal off him, right? Because of, I guess we're not getting silk from the mechanical body of it, so you need to be careful with your silk. The hardest part is definitely getting used to the patterns of the firewalls, but once you're in the zone, it feels really good. And then the final phase is just like a little bullet hell. Doesn't seem that bad. Probably would have been harder without the core line or the cloak. But I feel like, so you kind of need both of them to get here, or is it you need one of them? Like, maybe just the cloak, for example. But to get the cloak, you need the core line, so, Either way, I feel like this battle was pretty fun. Especially once you get into the zone, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. You. You weren't that bad, because I battled you recently, and it didn't take me that many tries. I do like that he, tries to peck on the ground a fair bunch. I think that's pretty fun. The enemies he summons are probably more annoying than he is, because of, how they move around. This kind of enemy, right? I hate how he moves around. And this one's also kind of annoying. So, I feel like the enemies that he summons up are more annoying than he is. So, collectively, I'm going to give him, a 3 out of 10. The chef. The most annoying part about this battle is that he can inflict you with the maggots, you know? Which really reduces his healing. But once you know about that, it's not that bad as long as you prioritize dodging the maggots as much as possible. His big old butt attack, I do not particularly like that. I don't really like this guy, so maybe a 2 out of 10. He does not feel fun to battle, you know? Grold great. If your walk back was a lot easier and you didn't have a gauntlet, you might be okay. But the walk back to you and then doing a bit of a gauntlet before battling you really, drains it down for me. Not to mention, you have an arena with the maggot water, so, dodge that, right? But then you have an ability, an attack that, changes the movement of the player, right? So, that makes it more likely that you are going to fall into the maggots. So, I don't think there's any part of you I particularly like. Do I like you at all? Not really, no. So I think we'll give you a 1 out of 10. I do not care for you at all. If you were removed from the game, I would not be sad. Yeah, so I think this was one of the first bosses that I actually enjoyed battling. I don't even know what it was about it, but I feel like I was starting to get into the flow of the combat around this time, and I really like Sister Splinter, you know? Um, Also, she would not get along well with Father the Flame. I feel like that's like, uh, you know, because we got things like a mother and we got a father, we now got a sister, so I feel like if the sister Splinter is part of the father of the Flames family, I feel like they would not get along well. Anyway, um, so yeah, I don't really know what I remember about this boss, other than the kind of thorns like blocking the path and you have to break them down. Oh yeah, she would summon, but she could also swat her own minions, which is great. So collectively, I'm gonna give her like a 7 out of 10. I really enjoyed that battle. Right, Guardian Staff. Uh, it's an interesting battle. Because he had like a ricochet thing with your shield. You would always like go to wherever your shield is. And then you would have like a slam attack with an explosion. In the second phase, when you were doing that attack like multiple times in a row, I did not like that. That was kind of annoying because you can't really hit him too well in that. You know, but the rest of it isn't that bad, I guess. It is a bit of a duel, and you gotta get used to him. His jump attack is actually hard to predict. So, I think about a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 seems alright. And then Nylef. So, once I got the weighted belt on me, that was great, because then I wasn't getting comboed. Right? But it is interesting to have a boss where you can't really touch the ground. You have to continue to wall jump and like dash around and all that. Do some cool line. Yeah, this was actually kind of enjoyable once I got that weighted belt. I kind of wish I took a few more attempts at it because it had the potential to be a really good boss battle. You know, like I like the idea of like pogoing off the boss because you can't touch the ground, you know? And if I was playing this boss battle like I was playing like near the start, where I can't heal on the ground, then that would suck, you know? But once Melody pointed out that I can actually heal while midair, that definitely would have changed how I approach this battle, you know? So collectively, all things considered, probably maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. It was pretty enjoyable. I just wish it lasted a bit longer. Once I got the weighted belt. Like, without the weighted belt, this is definitely like a 3 out of 10. Because, like, I just got comboed into spikes like so much. And that was not fair. The Last Judge. I really like Last Judge. I feel like that was a really good battle for where I was in the game. You know, like learning the attacks and damaging it was pretty fun. The only difference in like her phase 3, I want to say, is that she does like one attack once and then never does it again. But collectively, she was pretty fun. You know, I really enjoyed that battle. I liked getting used to her, and I liked even losing to her. You know, so probably like a 8 out of 10. Like really good boss battle. Were you the boss? I think you were the boss, right? There was like 2 of them in the in the in the area, right? Like in the blasted steps. I think there was 2 of them. I know we battle another one just before the Cold Tower, and he's okay. But when there's two of them, I like that they are pretty predictable and that you can use that to your advantage. The hard part is juggling both of them. So I feel like they're alright. Yeah, not too bad. Maybe a 6 out of 10. Alright, I guess we'll do card first. So, I hated the gauntlet getting up to this guy. He was actually really annoying to get to. Even with that shortcut, you still need to do a bit of a gauntlet before battling him, and that's kind of annoying. So, that's very evil, I guess. As for his battle, he wasn't particularly fun. Like, the way he would summon up the pillars of conch, right? It would make it really hard to get to him. Like, when he does a horizontal one, you can't really pogo off him because he's, like, inside the conch, you know? So, that wasn't particularly fun. And it felt very hard to get close to him because of all his AoE stuff. So, but he wasn't particularly hard, he was just kind of tedious. So I'll give him like a 3 out of 10. A Volt Worm. This would be a lot easier without the double jump. You know, if I could just jump and then glide, that'd be a lot easier than to double jump like a little bit then glide, you know? Because the ceiling in this boss battle was very tight. Other than that, the hardest part about this battle is getting to it, really. So, maybe just a 5 out of 10, you know? I feel like that's acceptable. You're part of... We only really see you in the High Hall Gauntlet, right? So you're kind of like a boss battle? Maybe? Do we count that? Or do we count that as a boss battle? If we do, then it's fine as a single, but terrible when there's two of them. It's technically not counted as a boss, but it's up to you if you would. Like, you only really battle it in the gauntlet, and it is kind of like... Yeah, a mini boss. So I guess it's like more of an honorable mention. When there's two of them, that's terrible. I hate that. So, collectively, I'm gonna give them like a 4 out of 10. How about that? Second Sentinel. This was actually a pretty good boss battle. Like, it was very fun to dodge and weave around each other. I don't remember the attacks that much, but I do remember that we were able to like kind of do a bit of a dance together, you know? So, I'm gonna give him like maybe a 9 out of 10 as well. It was a really good boss battle. I just don't remember that much of it. Before we continue, I'm just going to get myself a drink because my throat's getting a bit dry. One sec. I'm back. So next we get to the Unraveled, which I battled recently. His hitbox definitely feels a bit off. Like, it feels like that could have been a little bit more adjusted. But other than that, like, dodging the spears isn't that bad. Dodging his projectiles, not that bad because they are predictable. Like, he is going to do. Like, his pattern of projectile is pretty predictable. It'll just be in a random order. So, like, there will be a higher one, there will be a lower one, and there may be a middle one, you know? So, I feel like that's not too bad. His dash is kind of annoying, but at least he can jump up and around and maybe hit him. But yeah, the hitbox is kind of awful with this guy, so it feels like he hits you with the cloak more than he hits you with his body. I mean, I don't really know what his body is, but Also, I don't really care about this guy, but we'll give him like a maybe like a 5 out of 10. Like, that's a 5 out of 10 with me remembering him, you know? Not me forgetting about him. Cowboy Dances. I feel like this is gonna be my first 10 out of 10. This was a really good boss battle. You know? It starts off slow, then they increase speed, then they go out of sync, and then the final phase of the fourth phase is just really sad, you know? So I feel like that emotional moment really elevates it, you know? But apparently also, they don't have a shared health bar. They only have like individual health bar, so it's best to take down one of them. Kinda wish I knew that, but I didn't mind like switching up my target every now and then, you know? So, you know, not to mention, like, yeah, like, it was, when you get into it with the rhythm of it, and you're able to see what they're going to do, I feel like it's a really good boss battle. I don't think there's any downside to this boss battle. Even the run back isn't that bad, you know? So, I feel like this is going to be my first 10 out of 10. Maybe my only one. I really like this boss battle. Yeah, Chobio. Alright. Chobio. As a, because we got Tormented Chobio. Yeah, okay. So, as a mandatory boss that you need to do before, getting the, not the coin, but you need to do this before you can get over to the vaults, right? As a mandatory battle, I feel like he's fine. You know, his attacks are a bit hard to predict, and given the right kind of area of effect, he can be kind of annoying. Also, it is a bit unpredictable about when he's underground, like under the stage, when he's going to show up or when he's just going to throw bombs around, so that's very hard. So, the best window of attack is like around the time when he's doing the tornado, the cyclone, you know? When he's doing that, that's probably like the easiest time to attack him. But even then, that's kind of annoying to hit. So as a mandatory boss battle, maybe like a 7 out of 10. Not particularly my favourite, but not terrible. However, Tormented Chobio. There was no reason for us to battle again. He could have just talked it out. But the AoE on this guy, oh my god, like the explosions, the arena, like, it makes it really hard to get close to him. Not to mention, given the combination of attacks, he could easily combo you, you know? So, I do not feel any kind of positivity battling this version of Chovio. So we're gonna give you a 1 out of 10. I hate you. I hate you. Brood mother. Yeah, great. I guess you weren't that bad with the little minions. They weren't that bad to destroy. The most annoying part about this battle is being stuck by the stickiness of it. Poor tormented Trovia, he sure is tormented. Good. He can stay tormented for all I care. Yeah, very of it. So I feel like most of the attacks aren't that bad. It's just when you get hit by that mucus or whatever it is, and you're stuck, that's when it's pretty rough. But the rest of it aren't that bad. Like a 6 out of 10? I feel like 6 out of 10 might be okay. This is the guy that we just battled today, right? I guess another honorable mention. I don't really count this guy as a boss, but he gets an honorable mention. So it is cool that there's a boss out there that can, well, a mini boss per se, that can regenerate. I think there's only like 1 or 2 other bosses that can heal themselves, you know, which we'll get to soon. This one, not too bad, you know. But obviously you do need to be upgraded enough to dish out enough damage. Otherwise it's going to be very painful, you know. I would not imagine doing this without some needle upgrades and tool upgrades and stuff. Like, that sounds really painful. The Pale Stag. This was an interesting one. So, Pale Stag only had like 1 attack, I think. It was just like summon up a bunch of wind boomerangs, and then they go across the screen. So, that wasn't that bad. The hardest part about this boss was like, if you cool line into him, you could get hit by the boomerang because you like go up and into it, you know. And of course, like, him teleporting around, kind of annoying, but it is whatever. But not a bad boss battle, so I'm gonna give it like maybe like an 8 out of 10. It was pretty good actually, you know, all things considered. Clover dances. Now, I like the clover dances, right? I do not like the clover dances. For one, you can only hit 1 of them, so the other one's just basically immortal, which is great. Not to mention, the tornado attack that they do is really hard to get used to. I feel like I got there near the end of it, but it is still kind of annoying. And then, other than that, they kind of like just the cowboy dances. But the run back isn't particularly the greatest, so I'm gonna give them maybe a 6 out of 10. And that's mostly because they like the cogwork dances, so you already know the majority of the attacks, you know? The Bell Eater. So, I guess this one's interesting because, like, you could kind of choose if you wanted to battle the face or if you wanted to battle the butt, you know? And I think the butt was easier to hit with the projectiles. Like, it was easier to dodge the projectiles and go for it than it was to worry about the face, you know? Not to mention, like, you had to worry about him, like, worming his way around. is okay. The final part of it is amazing though, with the Bell Beast. Like that, from the top rope, kind of RKO, is pretty good, you know? So, I'm gonna give it... But it wasn't particularly enjoyable, that's the thing. Like, it was okay, but I didn't particularly enjoy it. So, maybe just a 5 out of 10, you know? Okay, do we count the huge flea as a mini-boss? I guess we do, right? This guy was pretty easy, like, it was... Especially in the arena, because you can go down and continue to bait him and cheese him kind of thing. So, I feel like, as an honorable mention, like a 2. Wasn't particularly that bad. And from here on is a boss. Oh, really? I guess so, yeah. Alright. Then we got Chakra, an optional duel with her. I like that you can I like that you can exploit her dash explosion kind of thing. You know, that's easy to predict, but the rest of it is kind of hard because, like, she teleports around, right? But she doesn't teleport in an easy to access spot. Like, you can't just, like, cool line on the ground or, like, dash on the ground to hit her, joust into her, you know? Like, she'll teleport, you know, 1.5 jumps in the air, you know? So that made it hard. Not to mention, the speed of the projectiles is kind of rough. Maybe you can, like, deflect them or block them or something, but it was kind of hard. Definitely an okay boss though. Maybe like a 7 out of 10. You know, like, it was good that you can battle her, and you can do that repeatedly in Act 2. I just wish that it was a bit easier to hit her while she was in the air, you know, like, by the time you, like, line yourself up in the air to hit her, she's, like, teleported away. So, it's a bit hard to hit her, you know. Garmond and Zaza, I don't remember how much Zaza does, but we do have... Okay, well, Garmond as well. But these guys weren't particularly hard, from memory. Not particularly hard at all, so... I think they're alright. What they are, you know. 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 sounds alright. Lost Garmond. See, I don't really remember how much Zaza brings to the table. But Lost Garmond, the Abyss attacks are the most annoying part about this battle, but you can kind of exploit it by, like, him going with the projectiles. You quickly go up and around over him, then you can hit him a few times. Like, that's the best part about him. But the rest of it's kind of meh, so... Maybe another 6 out of 10. Sorry, Garmond, but you're a 6 out of 10. Pinchus. It would have been great if we got the charged, like, X attack from her, but we didn't. So... Yeah, like, baiting her charge attack is probably, like, the best thing about her. But I think, similar to Chakra, it was kind of hard to, like, go up in the air to hit her. Right? But I feel like she was relatively enjoyable, so I'm gonna give, like, a 7 out of 10. Widow was actually a pretty fun boss battle. I think Widow was actually the first boss to start teleporting around for me. which made it interesting, you know? Not to mention the attacks aren't that bad, so... Well, I don't remember the boss battle that much. I feel like it was pretty enjoyable, you know? So I'm gonna give Widow an 8 out of 10. The first unit. This was interesting, because, like, you get a little cutscene from it and everything, but all you really get out of this boss battle is, like, a silk skill, you know? But this was an interesting boss battle, and this boss was actually able to heal if you're not, like, hitting it. If you take too long while it's trying to heal. I think it's trying to heal. Maybe it's trying to do an ultimate attack. But it's doing the same kind of thing that we do for heal, which is bind. So I feel like it was about to heal every time it was doing it, you know? But this was actually a really enjoyable boss battle. I don't remember too much about it. But I do remember it being pretty good before the teleporting around and stuff. Like, it felt like we were both kind of equal, you know? Yeah, she was here. Good. Okay. It's a good thing I was hitting it then. It is a she, right? I guess, like, the text doesn't really say, but I imagine, like, all the Silk babies are female. Maybe, I guess Phantom maybe isn't. I don't know. I guess maybe they can be male, but either way. First unit was very good. We're both teleporting around, hitting each other. I just wish I remember the combat a bit more. All weavers are a she. Gotcha. Makes sense. Yeah, so I think gonna give first unit like another 8 out of 10. Phantom is the only of Grandmother Silk's children that isn't female. Is that why Phantom is like an incomplete version? Because maybe it was like born a male or like a non-binary? Like, if Phantom was born a female, would she have been like a reject in a way? Like an incompatible vessel or whatever. Anyway, Phantom. So I battled Phantom probably a lot later than I should have. And so wasn't that like that hard for battle. It took me a few tries, I guess, for sure. But Phantom's attacks are pretty linear, so it's not too bad. Would have been maybe a different ranking if I battled Phantom earlier. One thing Grandmother Silk wanted more than anything was a perfect daughter. Yeah. So, Phantom might have been just, born either male or non-binary, and was therefore kind of a reject or something. Who knows? Or maybe it was female at one point, then got kind of corrupted or something. Who knows? Who knows? Not me, that's for sure. So Phantom's attacks were pretty linear, but not too bad. Also, the deflect, like the counter, was pretty good, I think. So, Phantom's probably like a 7 out of 10. Really enjoyable battle. I just wish that I battled Phantom earlier so I could have enjoyed the battle a bit more. Lace, so we have like 2 different versions of this Lace, because we do have this one I'd run, but we battled Lace in the Detox, and then we battled Lace in the... what was this place called? The Cradle. I don't think... does Lace change up any of her attacks between them? Or is it the same kind of enemy? You know, like, when you battle her in the Detox, does she get any new attacks in the Cradle? Or is it the same? Either way, similar to Phantom, a lot of linear attacks, but occasionally a few kind of aerial attacks, which aren't that bad. I feel like this list is actually, there's some changes, mostly speed, but few attacks are different and improved. Gotcha. So yeah, I don't really remember the original version of Lace, but the Cradle one wasn't that bad. Again, I wish it lasted a bit longer. But I could definitely see this being a 9 out of 10 boss battle. You know, she's got a counter, she's got some area attacks, she can teleport around and stuff. Like, this Lace was actually really fun to battle. You know? Then we got our final two boss battles. The Grandmother Silk. I feel like this one was kind of easy for a final battle. I guess, like, it's a fake out final battle, right? Because it's not the true ending. But I feel like it could have been a little bit harder. Like, a little bit more health, maybe? Maybe a third phase would have been great. Let's see, what's the hardest part about this battle? It's probably just dodging the horizontal and vertical, like, blades, you know? Other than that, I don't think she's that bad. But could have been better. I'm gonna say like a 7 out of 10, you know? And finally, Lost Lace. Apparently I battled her, like, attempted it, like, 47 tries or so, maybe 48. Give or take, because I did have some runs where I just forfeit the match. So I don't really count those. But how do I feel about this battle? The first phase is probably the most enjoyable. Like, once you get to the second phase and third phase, like, with the extra abyss attacks coming out, they're not particularly fun. Especially with the arena, like, the foreground makes it hard to see the... You know, it's black on black on black and black, you know, like, there's a lot of black in the area, because it's the abyss. So, it is hard to see some of the attacks, especially in the foreground. Like, because of the foreground elements. So I do not like the second or third phase. Third phase is basically just the same, just occasionally the blades will come out, different music, more screen shake kind of thing. Like, it got to the point where I had to turn that stuff off, just to really focus, you know? So, I don't know how that makes me feel about a boss battle if I need to turn off settings to focus, you know? But the first phase isn't that bad. Like, getting used to her attacks in the first phase, like, just her basic attacks, rather than just the abyss stuff she does in phase 2. Sure, she has, like, some tentacles and stuff, right? And, hey, who doesn't like a girl with tentacles? But I feel like these attacks were hard but fair, you know? Hey, sure, it took some getting used to, but I feel like it wasn't that bad, you know? It's just the second and third phase is when it really starts to decline for me. I would have preferred she have, like, new physical attacks rather than new abyssal attacks, you know? So, collectively, I'm going to give her, like, a 7 out of 10. Definitely could have been better. Just, yeah. I feel like 7 out of 10 is pretty good. And so that is my boss ranking, I guess. I feel like there's more positive ones than negative, or at least more neutral to positive than there are negative bosses, which is pretty good. Yeah, like, overall, the boss lineup is actually pretty good. Yeah, Cargo Dancers was definitely my favourite. You know, definitely a 10 out of 10 boss for me, you know. Just dodging the attacks, the way that the boss battle changes during battle, and then even just the finale, like, the emotional moment, you know. Like, I felt a lot from that battle. Alright. So, I guess before we wrap up the game, is there anything else I should be doing? Oh yeah, I have a so someone mentioned something along the lines of upgrading tools. And Melody, you were kind of mentioning something along the lines of like the face guy. So how do we do that kind of stuff? How do we upgrade tools, and how do we do whatever it is with the face guy over here, you know? The thing in Farfields that they were mentioning actually has to do with the upgrading tool. Oh, okay. Alright, so I guess we can kind of go to that then. So whereabouts would it be? Would it be in the upper section up here? Or is it in the lower section? Like, how early could you have done this? Is my question. I can tell you which tool it is. You have to have it equipped to do anything with it. Okay, so we need a tool. Is it a tool I have? You can only do it in Act 3, but you can get to the room in Act 1. Okay. Oh, is it... I think I have an idea what it could be. It's that tool, isn't it? Because... Okay. Give me that. Is it something to do with this? I remember that there was a target guy that wanted us to, you know, try again, kind of thing, but, you know, after doing it once, I didn't really feel the need to do it again, you know? So, how do I kind of do that? Right room, wrong tool. Okay. Do we have to like hit all the targets at once or something? Which means... Curve core? Maybe the threefold pin? I guess we can bring in two different tools at the same time. That might be it. Sure. I guess we can rest up at the bench. Cursicle. Okay, so I guess depending on like if we can hit all the targets, we can upgrade it, right? Cool. So I'm wondering if there's any others that he'll be wanting to upgrade. So if we get something like maybe that one. Let's see if he has another trial first. Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. No. Was that the only one we could upgrade? Or is there like another spot? Like, is there any more I can upgrade, or is it just that one? Or do we need to like find other tools to then upgrade them? You know, if we don't have the tool, then maybe he can't be there, you know? I genuinely can't think of any other tool you can upgrade aside from Core Mirror and Kercore, which you've already done both. Gotcha. Alright, and that's that, I guess. I guess technically we wouldn't upgrade that because we now have the unlimited plasmium for it. But in any case, so Neil, what can we do about this this mask guy? Like, is there anything we can actually do with him? I mean, there's 3 variations of Silkshot, but you can't go back once you've gotten one of them. Ah. Okay. That's pretty cool. But yeah, what can we do with this, like, face guy? Like, I'm very curious about what he actually does for us. Or is he just there to deliver things to? You know, like... outside that delivery mission, I don't think we have any reason to go out there, so there must be something else. There's nothing to do with the mask making now. Damn, did I miss it? Or are we just coming down with him? His main purpose? Lure and delivery. Okay. Great. Like, even Yarnaby has something to do, right? But this guy, he doesn't really do anything. So, I think then that's it for the game, right? I could battle Lost Lice again, just for the sake of it, or we just kind of call it there, you know? yeah. I think that's about it for the game. There's two things I can think of that might be cool to do if you want. Sure. Let's do them. So, what we got? Where we going? One will give you the last silk skill, the other won't give you anything, but it's still worth checking out. Fair enough. Where are we going? Let's get the silk skill. Where am we going for that? Okay. I suppose it's like up or anything. Can we still do it? Because it looks like we can't get in.
Cadestre. Benventra.
On the way to Carver Court, there's a spot here with Silksong. Got it. So like somewhere up here, huh? Tie up. So that's kind of like a light. That feels like it should be something, but I guess not. Maybe it'll be a bit more obvious to me. I'm guessing here, maybe? I think it's visible on your map. Okay, so that's where we were before with the Carver Core. That's that section. Should be visible on the map. Are you talking about like that little vertical section? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so somewhere in here, huh? Yeah, you're heading to the cradle again. Okay, and I guess we can't take the elevator, can we? Probably not. I guess now that we have the ascend skill, we can actually go back to Pale, so maybe there is something that we are supposed to ascend to up at the very top, you know? You can't take the elevator. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm imagining that now that we got the ascend ability, we can get back up here, right? So maybe there's something at the very top that we're supposed to ascend to. Which is probably why I never bothered to come back here, because like, why would I want to come back here, you know? I guess we didn't really explore this section, huh? Oh, yep. That was important. Yeah, I guess without the ascend ability, you can't really get back here, so there wasn't really much of a reason to come back. Really. Okay, so what do we get here? Pale nails. Ah, that's a pretty cool one. It's not too expensive either. And are they like homing, or like do they all target the same foe, or are they just spread out? You know. I don't know if you noticed, but you were binding grandmother Silksong up. Yeah, I did notice that. That was pretty cool. That is a pretty cool ability. I can definitely imagine as part of the snail crest, the shaman crest rather, combined with I have that one, well, I mean that one, and what was the other one? It was that one, maybe? I feel like it would be pretty useful. So then you can just kind of spin them around a bit. And yeah, they target nearby enemies. Extremely useful against Lost Glace. Gotcha. Yeah, you could definitely go for a different kind of mage build, I guess, like, you know, have things like this, or this as well, you know, you could go for more of a mage with it, you know? Which would be pretty fun. Or you could just go more of tools if you wanted to. You know, I could use Free Brew and be bit more barbaric, or the Flint Slate, you know? Like, it looks like I can really mix and match my playstyle. Very nice. Also, Melody, I don't know if you've seen our latest event in the SPC. Yeah. But we do have a new event. It's another creative thing, so you might be interested. But it's like a short story kind of thing. Also, what's this last thing that we can check out? That you want me to check out, rather? Oh, not to mention, I guess with the silk abilities, if you went with the this one, you know, it should be pretty effective. One of my favourite builds of the Shaman Curse is having Pale Nails, Threadstorm and Cross Stitch, along with Egg of Ophelia, Vault Filament, Magnetite Dice, and whatever other blue tool is nice. Gotcha. Here's what's cool, like under the bell. Hello, Red Steel. How's it going? Are we in Act 3? Yes. We have basically completed the game. We're just going around doing a few little things, you know? But at this point, I don't really care about spoilers because, you know, we're going to be ending the game soon. But, goddamn, have I been spoiled about a few things in this game. You can get a 10th mask? Yeah, I do know about that. But I'm not going to worry about that. Alright. Yeah, I know I can get another spool fragment, I know I can get another mask, but I'm not that worried about it, you know? I don't think I really need to worry about it. And unless the DLC is like really gonna be brutal, you know, when it comes out. I've actually collected every red tool in my save. I can tell you which one you're missing. Yeah, that's cool. I don't really care. Like, I'm not going for 100%. Hello.
Mi offende?
Ah, Sakura Sila.
That's fine.
Hehe, Tosco Kel. Ah, Sakura Sila. Bina Seru?
Neat.
Bina Seru?
Neat. I think that's what you wanted me to see, right? I don't think there's anything else. The next location is in Shard, right at the Bellway. Gotcha. Maybe on this platform. There we go. But yeah, Red Steel, you're a bit late to really spoil anything for me, you know? To the right of the Bellway. Sherwood. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted you to see. Gotcha. So to the right. So, what have we got? Like this, maybe? Could be that, but maybe not. Oh,
Bina Seru.
neat. I think it's really sweet that they didn't make stuff just a one and done boss. They add a little bit more of them. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know?
Megina Fora.
Wow, Sakura Sila.
Neat.
Ah, Menoso.
So I'm guessing he goes somewhere else now, right? So where does he go now? There's no bench around here, is there? Woo! Alright, we can do that. So we want to go putrefied ducks. Whatever. I knew that would get me. I just at the wrong time.
Era!
Really? Really?
Ren!
Me.
Fadastama.
Wow, Sakura Sila.
Or does he have a new score for like the free festivities? I wonder.
Hehe, Dosko Gel.
Alright, you're part of the free troop. Do you have a record? Oh man! Oh my! Damn! I'm glad I don't need to beat that. Oh my god. How are you so good at this? Like, god damn. No way I'm gonna do that. Seth is a dedicated friend with him. Yeah, he's really dedicated. God damn. No way I'm gonna beat that. Like, that sounds like a lot of effort. Considering I just got the juggle and dodge, like, barely, you know? I did it, it was painful. Is it worth it? Like, do you get anything out of it, or not really? Also, if you do Seth, and like bring him here before doing the free festivities, do you still need to beat Seth, or do you still need to beat Krishkin, Vogue, and Vogue? Like, would this change the the requirement for you get the Guardians Memento? Yeah, great. That sounds like pain. But yeah, like, if you bring Seth here before doing the free festivities, do you need to beat Seth? Or do you just need to beat the freeze, you know? Because that sounds painful.
Paravost. Ushka Mitri.
You can't bring stuff here before you beat all high souls. Okay, good. Because that would be painful. I would not enjoy that. Especially for the oil. Oh boy.
Wah, Sakura Sila.
No, please don't try. You've done enough, alright? You do not need to try any further. Alright. So I think that's it for Hollow Knight Silksong, right? I think we've done everything I want to do. Sure, there's a few other little things I can collect, but I'm not that worried about it, you know? And when the DLC comes out, hopefully I can do it, and hopefully I'll be able to enjoy it without anyone spoiling. That would be amazing, you know? Like, oh my god. Spoiling people. Silksong is over, yeah, unfortunately. But, you know, we had a very long run with it. It was like, what, 65 hours? Probably closer to 70. So, it's been a really fun experience. This is the longest I've gone for a game to complete it this much. Like, surely I could, like, complete it 100%, right? Or I could do things like the Steel Soul run and stuff like that, but you know, maybe in like, I don't know, 5 years or so, I'll give this game another go and I'll be using different crests and stuff, but that's gonna do it for me. Like, for the most part, this has been my playthrough, so it is the definitive story for me. Like, going back to it, I feel like is going to lessen the experience more than add to it, you know? Like, sure, I get to try out different quests, different tools and stuff, get used to it. But I feel like the first playthrough is the most impactful. And so if I was to play this again, it would probably detract more than it would add, you know? Which is probably how it should be, you know? I mean, I still need to figure out what I'm going to be playing next time on the channel. I could do another Metroidvania game. Could do a puzzle game. Could do really anything that I'm happy with. That I want to play. But this has been a good run, you know? Outside the spoilers, I think I also pretty much figured out everything on my own. I know that Melody, you did help with like the freeze and stuff, which I probably would have figured out eventually, but it would have taken a bit longer, you know? Like, I would have to really kind of smash my head against the wall for a bit, but I think overall I probably could have done it without anyone helping me. It just would have taken a long time to do so. As long as it's a game I don't have my 2 playlists, I'll likely be sure to check it out. Yeah, so I was interested in Mio, but you were also interested in that one. So, yeah, could try Castlevania, because I've heard that's a very good game. Could try a roguelike. I've got a few roguelikes I could play, like Haste or Enter the Gungeon. They're pretty fun. I was thinking about getting a puzzle game like Blueprints or Animal Well, because like, see how far I can get into those games. You were also mentioning the Outer Wilds, and that could be fun. You know, that could be something worth checking out, you know? But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So I would like to thank everyone for watching, for either this stream or in the previous streams. The only downside of this playthrough was that one person that spoiled Hollow Knight at the end of it, you know? That was a very rude thing to do, you know? Both Blueprints and Animal Well are on my playlist. I would not watch either of those. Yeah, gotcha. Because, yeah, you want to be going into the game blind, right? You don't want to watch anyone. You know, it's the same kind of thing like, I did not want to watch anyone else's playthrough, right? I wanted to go into this blind. So I completely understand. But we could try Castlevania. You know, just another Metroidvania, and apparently a very good one. You know, help define the genre name, Castlevania, you know. Castlevania, Metroidvania, so there's probably like a really good aspect to it, you know. But I think next week I'm going to take a bit of a break off YouTube for the most part, catch up on some other things, and then we'll be back the following week with something. I'll figure it out, but you know, I know, Melody, that you're mostly here for Silksong, but I do hope that you show up for other streams as well. You know, it's always good to have you around, you know. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, you know. This is the end of the playthrough for now.